Welcome to selfdiscoverywisdom.com, formerly known as Self-Discovery Media. On these podcasts, you're going to hear people who speak from the heart. They've taken the journey in life. Many things have happened to them, but they've changed it to happening for them. And in their strength, their courage, they've discovered their abilities and their wisdom, and they are now sharing it here with you. Do enjoy each show. We bring it to you with love and knowing that it's going to help you on your journey of life. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Ignite Your Heart and Soul right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and my three-time offender, Stephen Chong, is joining me from Australia. This is our third show together. Our first show, we talked about very much his book, A Life After Death, and delving what happens to us beyond this life. The second one, we talked about the deep insights of meaningful life purpose guidance, particularly around grief, loss, and profound connection to the heavenly realm. And today we're going to be talking about, the great spiritual awakening, the discussion of how we explore how individuals can recognize their self-worth, understanding the power of the thoughts, the words, the deeds that will ultimately reveal life's review, but also where we go next. We'll touch on the three inner saboteurs that prevent people from reaching their highest potential, along with a technique for releasing them. We're going to be talking about, following one's greatest, highest purpose by asking reflective questions, such as what would love do next? What is needed to come closer to the light? And practical tools, including meditation, visualization, to connect with the divine source, and emphasis on the building persistence, resilience by connecting to our core values, challenging unhelpful habits, and bringing the three pillars of life: relationship, money, and health into balance. And I think everybody we talked about transition beyond life. We've talked about grief being beyond that, but why don't we look at beyond choice, like the choice to go beyond where we are now, the choice to go, I'm at a redirection, I'm at a crossroad, or I don't like what's happening in my life, in the existence of life now. How do I pivot and move forward into a direction that is going to honor who I am and let me live my meaningful purpose? So I think a great topic. Thanks, Stephen. Welcome back.
So we have only got an hour to cover all of that.
Yeah.
My goodness.
We're masterful. We can do that.
Very good. Let's
So
delve
it
into it,
is
shall
choice,
we?
isn't it? Yeah, it's choice, isn't it? Like we can, we die and we're going to move on, spirit, not body. That's the fact. And when we have grief, we have to work to get into the other side of it. But when we're at redirects or a choice of a redirect, it is a choice of how we move forward, isn't it?
Yes, it is absolutely. And I must tell you a very recent, as in a couple of weeks ago, experience which describes exactly what we're talking about. I had with the knowledge that the divine is always there. It is always ever present. There is an ever presence about the divine. It's our listening and our
Yes.
intent, our choice that makes that barrier. So over prior a couple of weeks, I had this business problem in my head about social media, and I'm a dinosaur with this stuff, but that doesn't matter. And I thought, well, what do I do? And then I got this email from these people, and it was about doing some social media clips and things. And we got on a Zoom, and they pitched me their services, which was very nice. And they said option one was a significant amount of money.
Yeah.
Option two was a less significant amount of money, and option three was a almost approachable amount of money. Hmm. So the next day. The monkey mind goes, can I do, bounce around, do the numbers, blah, de, blah, blah. And it was mid-afternoon, and I've said, enough to myself, stop, calm, let it go, open up to the universe, let the divine take care of this. Now, without going into specifics, the number, number three number was probably around 10,000 US dollars. And I thought, wow, wow, wow,
That's number three.
a lot of money, but but
Yeah.
approachable. It was so it was within the bounds. Uh, but I've let it go, and about I don't know, time doesn't matter. 15 minutes after I've let it go, I got this pang of inspiration. Contact this person that I know. She knows this stuff. So I sent her a text and I got a text back immediately. And she says, "Don't do that. You
Mm.
can do it yourself and it's really easy." And I did. And it cost me 200 US dollars. But to me, it was a perfect example of tuning in to that
Yes.
divine spirit for the helping you, assisting you, guiding you
Into the right
in those
direction.
things which in the right direction that provides we've
Yeah,
got this dilemma or problem, whatever. Tune into that divine spirit which is waiting there for to help us.
exactly.
Beautiful, simple but perfect example
But
of how
with
this
it
divine
is
works.
simple. You know,
Yes,
everybody's looking for the big crash of lightning and the big thunder and the big this and that. No, it's a nudge,
no,
nudge, wink, wink. All right. You
yes,
give up to the universe and then you get out of the way. And you don't wait for it to come and give you a link. What it does, it puts people or places or something in front of you. It's up for you to walk aware, right? No
yes.
blinkers, no, la 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 la. Walk aware, and then you recognize the signs. I have a workshop that's called Your View of Life, and I have people take this metaphorical journey, and it is astonishing how unaware people are.
Mm,
And when we learn to be in tune, we
mm.
receive those messages and we understand what
Yes,
they are, and they become clearer to us because we have opened up trustingly,
correct,
and we
correct,
become aware of them. But it is like
correct.
people, hurry up, meditation, I haven't got all day. Well, I'm manifesting, or where is it? And it's like, you're not tuned into the right frequency, right? You've got to
Yes,
tune into
yes.
the right frequency to get the message.
Yes, 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 yes. You mentioned trust there, and I think that's the key element
Mm,
to it. Trust that the answer will come. It might
yeah,
not be in that instant you request it.
right.
Give me dollars or give me the answers right away. But what we know is it will come, and that answer will come when the mind is quiet,
Yes.
when this monkey in the
Shackles are
head
going off.
stops bouncing around. So, but trust is the absolute key.
It's almost surrender, right? It's because when you get to that point where you have taken the journey into being in tuned with the universe, God, universe, spirit, source, energy, whatever you want to define it as. When you have found your connection, you had to surrender in order for it to connect with it. You
Mm,
had to allow
yes,
in order to understand the connection. But when you do, the trust factor becomes automatic because you
yes,
know it, you feel it, you know when it's there for you, when it isn't. It's when your core agrees or your core goes no, then you know, well, that's outside thinking, not inside thinking.
yeah,
But you've got to do the work to get to that place where
mm,
it's just the knowingness that this is what I need to know when I need to know it.
yes, absolutely. And you know what I'm sure we're doing in that process is that we're removing the internal barriers, and the
Mm,
one that comes to mind is that self-esteem and self-image that
yes.
says, "Oh, I'm not good enough. I'm only Stephen." Yeah, and there's some baggage behind me, and I've made some mistakes, and I'm not worthy.
Mm,
Uh, uh-uh,
yeah.
uh-uh. So, so yeah, let's break through
Yeah.
those barriers. I tell you, another story comes to mind, another true one,
Mhm.
but this is I'm sitting in this spot, and we're probably 15 years ago now, in this exact same spot, and I'm writing trying to write book number one, and it was like pulling teeth. It was, it was
Ideas
coming from
come,
the mind.
ideas come.
Oh, come on, oh, I didn't like it. But I'm sitting here. That it's evening time. The house is quiet. The kids are down. This was my quiet time. And it was like somebody speaking in my ear. I heard it. Yeah, it was, you're not good enough for this. Because I'd never written before. You're
Uh-huh.
not good enough. You're not an author. Who's going to read this? Blip.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
And,
I know
I,
that person. They get around a lot.
I, yeah. But even back then, I was wise enough to
Mm.
know what it was. It was those internal saboteurs
Yes.
that trying to keep you, and they're not there to hurt you. They're trying to keep you comfortable. Just keep you where you are. Keep doing what you're
Yes.
doing, Stephen. You stay
Suppress.
where you are,
Mm.
you know. But I also knew how to let them go. So there's a technique called the welcome mat. So you don't repress those fears. You acknowledge them. So
Yes.
thank you for coming, old friend. Poor self-esteem, poor self-image. But I don't need you anymore. See you later.
No.
And oh well,
There's the note.
but you said, but the interesting thing is, this was a large spectre.
Yeah.
So every time we do that welcome mat technique and
Yeah.
let them go, the spectre gets smaller, spectre, and then it goes.
Yes.
And now, from that point, that was book number, a quarter of the way through book number one. Now, 15 years later, book six is written. It was like opening up the portals.
Yeah.
So you let go that internal blockage, those fear-related blockages that say you're not good enough. And by the way, you remember a teacher or a parent or somebody that said, "Oh, Stephen, you're not going to be any good.
Mhm.
You can't succeed. You're not good enough." So all of those, you let that, which are those, uh, uh, the embedded,
Mhm.
those
Old
tapes that are
programming.
embedded,
Mm.
programming. Let them go. Open up the portals. Let the divine come through with the answers, and it's like the waterfall. It's a cascade that comes through. It's a
I'm
beautiful thing.
I'm going to hit at least two times that has happened to me. One, my brother is a professor of literature and he's an author. So the thought of me writing, I couldn't compare with him, right? He was
Mm,
the pro. Uh,
mm,
and number two, I have dyslexia. So I'm inclined
mm,
to write in different ways. I write like Yoda speaks, right? So,
mm,
and I can't even read my writing. So when I finally got a computer and I started writing articles and blogs, my brother would put them up on his magazine site, but he would alter it so much that it lost its meaning. And I said,
mm,
"No, would
mm,
you correct the grammar? Please do that.
mm,
But leave the content as it is." And then he'd be surprised at
mm.
how many people would contact me or make connection to it because it
Yes.
wasn't written, kind of formally. It was written in a way that people wanted to hear. And I found a voice. So the computer gave me a voice. Now
There you
AI gives
go.
me a voice because it knows me so well. I'll give it my content and it will do all those corrections I need.
Hmm, hmm.
And just tidy it up in a way for presentability. So it allowed me to write in other books. I've written my own, and I've been in one, two, three. Is it maybe only one, two, three? Yeah, four other books, right? With a
Beautiful.
contributing
Yeah.
chapter, right? So,
Mm,
and it's like, why is my voice not good enough? I've heard it all my life. I've heard it. Who do you think you are? Well, you're not
correct.
educated, and that was one of my topics in the Selfish book. Of you're not academic, so therefore you're not right.
Yes.
What are
Yes.
you?
Yes. Yes.
Nothing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and I've had to weather all that storm against all of
Mm,
that. But the internal me kept saying, "But why can't you do it? You know you can do
correct.
it. Trust your inner instincts." And I
Mm.
would find that my inner self would push me through something while the outer side of me is saying, "No, you can't do it," And eventually I'd break through.
Isn't that marvelous? And the what to me there's three saboteurs. There's a self-image, poor self-image, poor self-esteem, but the biggest one is the fear of success.
Mm-hmm.
Not not fear of failure, but the fear of success sort of
Can
it,
I live
it,
up
it
to it?
oh well there you go. But
Yeah.
it's a fear of discovering that we are more than we think we are.
Hmm.
So to me, for me, that was the biggest one. You let that go. Yes, we have certain limitations. I don't know where commas go either. I mean, after six books, I still no idea. Well, doesn't matter. These things get taken care of. But you let that fear
Yeah.
of unworthiness discover what is sitting there waiting for you in that well, that crucible of the divine that says, "Oh, here it is. Get this into you." You know,
Mm.
and the discovery of what we don't know is more marvelous than we
Yes.
could ever imagine.
Becomes exploration. All the authors that I've interviewed, especially those that kind of came at it later in life, it was like, well, I didn't know if I could write a book, but it was inside of me and it had to come out. And now,
Correct.
like, what people tell me about the book and what it's done for them, I never expected that. And that's the beauty of it. That's the gift of it, right? But we don't
Mm.
write waiting for people's approval. We write
No.
because we're compelled to. We're right because we need to put it out there. Like a podcast, like a book, like a TED Talk or anything else, once it's out there, it's out of our hands. What
Mm-hmm.
people do
Mm-hmm.
with it, what they get out of it, what it means to them, we may never know because people are not good on comments, folks. We need your comments so we know what's happening. But
Yes, absolutely.
it's like it's out there. And now the
Yes,
universe is going to take it. And people say, how many people listen to your shows? And I go, all those that are ready to hear,
correct.
right? I have no
Yes,
control who's listening, what they're doing with it. But when somebody's ready to hear and they really are here to listen, learn, and apply, then they will pick a show and listen to it. I can't force people. All I can do is give them the product to listen, to read, or to whatever. And I think it's
mm,
letting go of the expectation of what it should be into
yes,
just allowing it to go and be what it needs to be.
yes, yes. And again, the expression of that is underpinned by that releasing the fear of being ridiculed, of
Oh,
being
yeah.
seen as ridiculous, or your opinion doesn't matter. Well, and people are entitled to all those opinions,
And they will
but
ridicule you and they
and
will
they will,
judge
of
you and
course.
they will tell you
Oh yeah.
how to do it. And you just go, thank you very much, and let it go.
Yes, 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 yes. I was, Sarah. I was telling my children that just the other day, who are aspiring actors, and I said, you've got to be prepared that
Mhm.
you putting yourself out there with your skills are marvelous and they're developing, but you will attract a certain amount of resistance, shall we call it, ridicule. People who are, I don't, whatever they are,
Judgment,
but
yes.
let it go.
Yeah.
Learn
Don't
from your
take it on.
mistakes to be
Don't
sure.
take it on.
Don't take
Yeah.
it on. Yes, absolutely.
There's
And
a
that's part of
critique
it.
and a criticism. A critique you can apply and it will hone you in your craft. Criticism is just somebody bitching at you because they can't do it themselves.
Correct. Yeah, and that's exactly what I told them. Thank you. That's the way it works. But it all,
And the thing
but
is
but
not being
all,
afraid, right? I mean, they're choosing an arena that they're going to have more doors closed on them than open. But all you need is that one good door open, that one good part, right? And it can set you on your way. And if you really believe in what you're doing and you're honing your craft each time you have the opportunity to do it, then when that one door opens, you're ready for it. All those no's have prepared you for that one big yes.
yes, correct. You must have been sitting in the conversation I had with my children the other.
The fly on the wall.
Because that's exactly what I told them. I said, they've got their degree and they're
Mm,
they're going off to do their thing now. But I said to them, don't be afraid.
mm.
Do not be afraid. Do things that uh, move you out of your comfort zone. That's what it's all about. But fear not, you are never without the love of the Father, is the rule,
Yes.
is the law. So that divine is sitting on one shoulder all the time. And the guidance is provided as we spoke about before. Go, do, be magnificent
Yes.
because you are.
And always do it from the core, not the expectation, right?
Correct.
When the divine call says yes, do it. And if you go for a part and it doesn't feel right, but oh God, it's a job, I should take it. I've got to do some lemons before I get the good one. But everything in your instinct says no. It's okay for you to say no, right?
Yes.
And just because it's
Yes.
being presented doesn't mean we have to pick up on everything. I mean, I remember
Yes.
Michael Caine talking about the one movie Dress to Kill, where he
Ah,
ended up
yes,
being
yes,
a
yes.
transvestite murderer or whatever. And he said, I purely took that movie to pay the mortgage. He did no pride on it, no nothing. I
No,
took it to
no.
pay the mortgage. And yeah,
Yes.
there's some things you're going to have to do there to become a learning curve. But it's also trust your own instincts and never sell
Yes.
yourself short. You can bend, you can be humble, but don't sell yourself short.
Correct. Yes, yes, yes. And again, you were the fly on the wall with my children's conversation. So thank you very much for being there.
Whispering in your cosmic ear there.
Absolutely.
We want our children to succeed. And, my kids were called kind of wanderers. My daughter went back to university at, I think, 27 or 28. And it took her a while to get her social degree because, social worker degree. And she eventually wants to go and be a master's and be a counselor, but she's about to give birth to her third baby. So right now, the role that she has in life is mama, right? So,
Mm,
and and there's plenty of time later for her to go back, get her master's, and follow something that she wants to do. It used to
mm,
be, well, you've got to, leave school, go to university, build up your career, get married, have the kids, and all of that. No, you can do things whenever you want to do them. No, there is no age barrier unless you want to be a trapeze artist or a ballet. You can't pick that
mm.
up later in life. The body won't agree with you, but there are many doors open to you. If you wish
Mm.
to pursue something, don't let age be the barrier.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, and I won't speak for you. I'll speak directly to myself here. Now that one has snow on the roof, um,
71 this week.
there's a relativity about the things that we do now
Yes.
to pass those messages on
Mm,
to the let's call them the younger generations, but still, and one thinks back to when one was 25 or 30, and
yeah.
you think the knowledge that one has garnered now, if you could transplant
Oh,
that
God, it'd be
into a
great.
25 year, how different would that have
Yes.
made life? But I guess, to put it bluntly, that's our job to pass these
Yes.
inspirations, these messages on. If you get it when you're 20 or 25, my goodness, it's the rose that blooms
Yes.
30 years earlier than it did in my case.
Right.
And it's a
I mean,
beautiful
look,
thing.
obviously, our life and our experiences led us to where we are today. But
Correct.
what we're trying to make a point of to the younger generation is that you don't have to do it the hard way, the way we did it, because we had all the
Hmm.
pushback. You've actually got the wind behind your back now. You
Yes.
apply this wisdom, these skills, these tools, this attitude. You can make the leaps and bounds way, way faster and surer than we
Yes.
did because we were actually, especially in this spiritual realm of talking as we are. When I used to talk about it, it was loopy,
Yeah.
or you're waiting for
Yeah.
the white coast to
Yes.
come and
Yes.
get you, right? And put you away.
Yes.
We couldn't talk about it in our
Yes.
generation. Now we can talk about it freely and openly, and you can apply it freely and openly and become it. And that's what the
Correct.
world and the universe is desperately wanting us to be, right?
Yes.
To
Yes.
embrace that and
Yes.
become that. So the permission has changed. The
Correct.
wisdom has broken through to the knowledge and understanding of what we need to do when we need to do it. And if they apply
Yes.
it earlier in life, they're going to avoid a great deal of Grand Canyons and only have potholes to deal with.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And the thing that stands out is, yeah, grey hair gives us a little bit of, we're entitled to a little bit of wisdom, but
We've weathered a few
but
storms.
but the building blocks for the
Mm,
that younger generation, they've got their values from, their values are set and from which their behaviors manifest. They are there. Their life purpose does not change. They have that
mm.
specific life purpose that they are placed on God's own earth
Yes.
to fulfill, that is there. So with that recognition, you have the well, that crucible from which all of this
Yeah.
wisdom can then impact. So, grab a hold of your values, understand that you have a life purpose to be and to fulfill and to manifest. And then that opens the door to all that wisdom we were talking about. So your books turn up I saw my son's library, bookcase the other day. I thought, my goodness, there's Shakespeare and all this wisdom in
Yeah.
there, which I thought, my goodness, that's great. So that opens up the knowledge
Yes.
of those values, and that life purpose opens up that pathway to the wisdom to come forward and the
It,
divine to manifest in their lives.
it becomes the invitation. All right. It's
Correct.
become the invitation. And I see the inspiration begets the invitation. And because they're inspired by the people that have, in their bravado, stepped up and said, I am. This is
Hmm.
me. I've worked through the whispers and the chatter and the no's and the judgment. I've worked through all of that, and I have become the divine being that I am. And I'm open
Mm.
and here I am. That has then become that inspiration. Oh, look who they are. Look at the journey they've had. Look how happy they are. Look at how one with themselves they are. Look at how they're in tuned. And I want to feel like that. So that's the
Mm.
inspiration. What do I need to do in order to get
Mhm.
there? Right. And if they will get
Yes.
there an awful lot quicker than us because they're not unpacking all the garbage that we had to drag along with us.
Yes.
Um, because
Yes.
hopefully they don't have that much baggage to let go of in order to embrace.
Isn't that very interesting? Because uh, I must say, about 2 weeks ago, I come to this realization that often when we sit in our meditations, in our prayers, or whatever it is, we start from a point of lack. Oh, I need to. I'm only this, and I need something. I need to be more successful, or more comfortable, or more have more money. So we come to that
Hold on.
meditation. We approach the divine with an intent to fill us up.
Have you continue? Sorry, folks, I had to interrupt him. My daughter's about to have a baby, and I thought that might be the call. So sorry, Stephen, please do continue.
Perfectly understandable. I think if we, as you rightly say, if we approach our connection with the divine from a point of view of wholeness, I am well, I am whole, I am as God created me. That starts from a point of where the soul is
Yes,
perfect.
yes,
It's perfect. And
yes.
then it manifests itself in daily life. So rather than going, oh, I need this, or I'm lacking in that, or, I want something else, well, yes, the divine helps us along that pathway. But if we start from a point of wholeness and
Mm,
recognition that our spirit is, our soul is divine, is
yes,
whole,
it's the wisdom, it's
then
the
it's
knowledge, the compass.
then it
Yeah,
manifests itself. Yes.
yes.
So the meditation should be a glory of the fact that we are whole, we are well, and we are as God has created us. I think
I think a lot of
it's a
people
beautiful
get
starting point.
scared of the meditation and like, oh, I've got to be cross-legged on the floor. No, you could be walking in nature. You could be riding a bike. It's wherever you feel connected and centered. Now, we know
Yes.
we talk about meditation because it's shutting everything else off. But if
Hmm.
going for a jog, riding a bike, going for a walk in nature, listening to some music has you center yourself where you can tune in and receive and download, that is meditation. It doesn't all have to
Mm.
be cross-legged on the floor humming. No.
Yeah,
If
I
you've
don't
got
do that. No.
chatterbrain, it's not going to work. For me, very often, I give my brain something to do that it can do
Hmm.
mundanely, and then I
Correct.
allow, my essence to kind of speak to me, and it can't often speak to me with the brain going da, 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 right? So you have to keep the brain
Yes, absolutely.
occupied, right?
Yes.
And but you discover which way is the best way for you to receive.
Yes, absolutely. That's right. I I'm sure my wife loves me for many reasons, but there's one in particular. that I like to do the ironing. Now,
Yes.
now I
I don't
know I'm
even know the
weird,
line.
but as you say, it's a metronomic
Mm,
exercise. So it's a
mm.
non-thinking exercise. So
Yes.
it's when the brain goes into it's open mode. It's doing the ironing thing, and that's you're not thinking about anything.
No.
You're just open to
Monotonous.
everything.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So those metronomic chores, if you will, are a great place for the divine to enter. Yes,
Yes. Because there's also something rhythmic about it. You know, if you're
correct,
ironing back and forth, if you're doing a chore, you're in a rhythm, right? And when you're in
correct.
a rhythm, it kind of opens up the flow of things, and that's where the information starts flowing in and flowing around. We can't be rigid. We can't be dictatorial. We can't be doing something that is too choppy. It's got to be something that does have a calmness and a rhythm and a flow to
Yeah,
it.
correct. Yes, and I think in addition to that, there's a timing aspect to that too.
Mm,
Uh, 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 daily, I don't do the ironing daily, but I would, go into that quiet space on a
yes.
daily basis to connect them or reconnect if I'm out of sync.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the other time I think is important is in the morning.
Hmm.
As soon as you wake up, you start to, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. And so the mind goes into an agenda gear. But spend the first couple of minutes saying, okay, how am I going to be today? Calm,
Or even
happy,
wake up. I'm awake.
articulate.
I'm alive. Thank you.
Well, I can't go that far.
Let's start off with gratitude, right? I've
Gratitude,
got
well,
another
gratitude
day
is a
in
great
front of
one.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's also a pill you can take it whenever you like.
Yeah.
Some points during the day when things are getting a bit challenging. How am I being today? I'm being
Yeah.
happy. I'm being
Mm.
content. I'm being calm. Choose, choose the way you're going to
Choose.
be.
What
Hmm,
you water is what will grow, right?
correct.
And if you're having a really bad day, in one after the other, things are going wrong. Well, this is the time to kind of step back, step out, and recalibrate. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
maybe put on some music that blasts in your ear, whatever it is that's just going to snap you out of where you're at, or change the rhythm and
Yes.
put you back into another rhythm. Doesn't mean your day is going to then be perfect, but what it does mean is that you can tackle whatever's coming your way and you don't feel like it's one thing after the other.
Yes. Yeah. And maybe that has to do with, wanting or needing to be in control.
Mm,
Whereas if we let that tune that out, okay, divine, I don't know what to do. What would bring me closer to the light? How do I
yes.
solve this particular dilemma? So we ask that mm, creative question. How do I fix? What do I do? Where do I go? Place that out into the universal hand that's sitting on our shoulder waiting to give us the answer, and then
Mm,
attend for the answer because it
yes.
will come.
Allow and be patient and be
Allow
aware.
it.
And
Yeah.
sometimes, like I've had it where, I do 4 shows a week. So if somebody doesn't turn up, it's an interruptus on how many shows I do every week, right? But sometimes,
Mm,
people have shoot happening, right? And it
mm,
doesn't happen. And then when they do come back, it turns out it was a better time anyway, right? To come
mhm.
back later and do it. It's not it would have been okay when they did it, but just somehow things have happened that's even better now. So sometimes when
Yes.
we get a door closed on us or we feel, well, why isn't it happening? Maybe it's just not meant to. Maybe the
Mm,
synchronicity of everything that's meant to be in place isn't in place in order for it to happen. So sometimes,
mm.
it's just let it go. Okay, it's not now. Or maybe, I'm going down a wrong avenue, step back, take a breather, and go, okay, all right, where am I meant to go here? And then just let it be revealed.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly the way to do it because that divine essence is not there to make us comfortable. It's there to make us conscious. So we become
Yes.
conscious and be aware that
Mm.
the spirit will act at a time that is most proficient for our progress, our development. So trust that the divine will be there. Yes, you
It's
haven't got the
a
answer right at
loving
that minute.
mother. It's a loving mother, a loving father, a loving mentor, right?
Correct.
A loving shaman. It is everything. But all
Hmm.
they can do is share the wisdom. What you do with it is your free will,
Be a free choice.
right?
Yes,
So
absolutely. Yes.
the thing is the more that you allow that compass, that guidance, and trust it, the more you automatically will make good choices because of the
Correct.
information that they've given and the path that
Hmm.
they've shown before you. Most certainly looks illuminating and it's the right path to do, and you trust it.
Correct.
So when you
Correct.
bring the mind into it and second guess, well, what does it mean? Well, why did they this or do that? No, you're going to go
No,
into chaos and you're going to go into turmoil. When it is like, okay, all right, okay, I'm going to put one foot in front of the other, blind, deaf, and dumb, in order
there,
to see, hear, and feel, and it'll be revealed where I'm meant to go or what I'm meant to do.
there, there you go. And I must say, additionally to that, that often once receiving that inspiration, might not like the term impulse, but that inspiration, it will lead us out of a zone of comfort.
Yes.
So we need, yeah, that story I was telling you about before with the software. Now,
Hmm.
I'm such a dinosaur with this stuff, you know. But and the comfort zone says, "Oh, don't do that. You
Mm.
can't do this, Stephen. God, you can barely use a calculator." But, uh, but open the comfort zone up. Practice. I'm now getting very proficient at this particular software.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the way it works. So don't
Exactly. The
let
more
fear
you
stop
use
you.
it, the more.
The more you use it.
And the
Yeah.
comfortability we're talking about, I think maybe comfortability isn't kind of quite the word. I think it's when we become complacent and we're too scared
Mm.
to do something.
Yes.
When you are
Yes.
aligned with spirit, you are very comfortable because you're trusting the
Hmm.
knowledge. But the
Oh,
comfort
yes.
is propelling you forward, is showing you a path forward comfortably, right?
Correct.
Rather than the other kind of being complacent. Well, I don't know, so I'm just going to give up. Right? Like with my shows initially, somebody used to do my audios for me, and they said, "I can't do it anymore. You've got to do it." And they had to show me a few times, and once they did it, I did it. Then somebody said, "Okay, Sarah, it's time to do video." What? What? And now video and audio and this and that, and creating graphics and doing this and that. Am I perfect at it? No. Kid could probably
Mm.
come along and go do 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 do, and done
Yep.
in a second. But the point is, I push myself. Okay, I don't know if I can do it unless I try.
Try. Correct. Correct.
And if you
Absolutely.
don't get it the first time, don't beat yourself up.
And the divine places, assistance on that road for you. I remember in the case, the example we talked about, I got contacted by these people I know and said, "Oh, you can do this for me," and the doing of such enabled me to practice the
Mm-hmm.
software.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much. That's the way it works. That
Yeah.
divine is there for us all the time.
To show as we can. We
Correct.
are so much
Yes.
more than we've allowed ourselves to be. We've limited
Yes.
ourselves because of other people's dictation of what we should be or what we can be.
Hmm.
But the
Hmm.
divine knows, I know what you are designed to be.
To
And I
be.
know that
Yes.
there is so much more to you if you're just willing to take the journey.
Yes. 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 And it's those, like we were talking about before, those old teachers, the parents that said, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Stephen, you're not going to, you're never going to make anything of yourself," and that's created
Mm-hmm.
that rut in the head, that tape that keeps repeating itself. Let that stuff go.
Yeah.
Just open up, and the wonders that say 6 books later, and you write things, you look at things and go, "Oh God, where did that come from?"
Yes.
That's the
In
wonder of it.
partnership with the divine, that's where that came from,
Correct, it is.
right? Yeah. That's where, and that's where, for me, even with my shows and things, it's like sometimes I don't know what to talk about, and I just put the recorder
mm,
on and go, all right, universe. And then it's like what comes out of my mouth. And then, in the next half hour, what the flow is, just letting it flow, letting it go.
mm.
And then, bless Zoom, I can take the transcript and create it and then
Yeah,
turn
yeah,
into
yeah.
the blog. But it's trusting that it will come. And the more tuned you are, the more fluidly it comes because it becomes
Correct.
something familiar. You understand the feeling, you understand it's okay. When you feel, I'm not getting upset about this, well, that's good. I'm not getting upset about
Mm,
this because there's nothing to be upset about. The old me
mm.
would have been upset. This me isn't upset because I am trusting that
Yes,
it
yes,
will all
yes,
be okay. Right. And I think
yes, yeah.
that's when you know you really are in tune.
Yes, absolutely. And I think, don't think, I know there's a literal aspect to this process. Let me explain that. So the questions we ask of the
Mm.
universe are really, really important. So we need to ask constructive questions rather than destructive questions.
Yes. Yes.
So the constructive question says, what do I do about this problem?
Hmm.
Where do I go for help? How do I fix such and such?
Hmm.
Constructive of their very nature. But the destructive question says, why can't I do this? Why
Hmm.
do I always make mistakes? Why do I always trip over my size 10s? And the universe says, well, why do you?
Yes. Yes.
Because it's very literal. So you
Yeah.
ask the right question, you will get the positive response that you need. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I fix? I think that's very much a part of it too.
Hence the terminology, be careful what you ask for,
There you go. Yes.
right?
And
Be
yes,
articulate, right? You want clear direction, so therefore you must give clarity as to what it is you're asking,
correct.
right? And that's the way we should be with ourselves and with other people, and then that's the way the universe is. It's like,
Yes.
universe, I have a blockage here. Like when I was moving my site over to a different platform, it was meant to
Mm.
all be easy, easy, easy. And I spent 44 hours with the little chat
And
thing trying to work it out, and I couldn't. And eventually, a wonderful colleague named Nettie said, it's okay. I'll get my one of my assistants now, he's in cybersecurity. So even they ran into problems. Even they ran into struggles. I said, I feel so much better. Not that you ran into problems, but that I wasn't being that dumb. you know? And it's like sometimes to understand we take on more than we can cope with. And it's not there to frustrate us. It's not there to show us, well, you're less than. It's to show us, well, this isn't your hat. Hand it over to somebody whose hat it is, right?
correct.
And then to say,
Yes,
okay,
yes, yes.
universe, I can't cope with this on my own. Who can help me?
There you go. Beautiful, beautiful question. I think we have to attract a simplicity about
Yeah.
these things too. In my simple brain, I live by let me make sense of this, a three-legged stool.
Hmm.
And if you can imagine a three-legged stool, it's sitting in balance. So if one of the legs is too short, the stool
Hmm.
is in balance, is out of balance. For me, the three legs are our health, our relationships, and money,
Hmm.
finances. So if there's an issue in either of those, for me the stool is out of balance. So
Yeah.
if the health is not functional,
Hmm.
then that means I need to engage. I need to do something. Then
Hmm.
I need to seek the help of the universe to say, oh, what do I do about this thing? Where do I go? How do I fix?
Yeah.
Similarly, if the relationships with your one spouse or your children or whoever, the important ones there, I need to engage. What do I do? Where do I go? How do I fix? Similarly with money or finances, where do I go? That sort of thing. But so that simplicity enables action to
Mm.
be taken through connecting with the divine. How do I fix? Where do I go? Bring that stool into balance again. That's kind of the way I see things.
Yeah. I've actually just had a thought on the way I see it. Um, AI is an algorithm. And the more it gets to know you, the more it gets to understand what it is that you need. And it's there to please you, right? So
Hmm.
I will ask it a question or I'll give it something and it will give me suggestions. Oh, I think you need more spirituality here. I think you need more this, more that, because it knows my rhythm, my rhyme, my tone, and what it is I'm
Hmm.
about. It's got to know me. I think that's the same with the universe. It's the same with the wisdom, the universal divine wisdom. You develop an algorithm with it, and it begins to know what it is you're really asking, how you're feeling, what you really
Yes,
need right now, because you're in sync with each other, right?
correct.
And it's like, AI, what do I do about this? Universe, what do I do about this? How do I address this? And it knows that algorithm and how to present it to you in a way that you comprehend and connect on it.
Correct. Yeah. And but I think there's more to it. You would know when in the writing of your books, and similarly with this, the afterlife, a journey too, the last book that was written. I remember sitting again in this exact same spot and just being totally open to whatever was coming. I had no idea what to write. No, it's literally no idea
Mm-hmm.
and no character development, none of that stuff. And every time I sat, it was just a beautiful discovery. I mean, and this whole story, of course, is happening in heaven. It's
Yes.
showing me what heaven is
Mm-hmm.
like based on our choices in life. And I would write a chapter, download a chapter more
Mm-hmm.
particularly, and then read it in review and go, where did that come
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
Because the mind I couldn't even conceptualize what was written because
No,
it
you
was
can't.
given as
You
a
can't
as a
in the mind. The
gift.
mind doesn't know how to use that knowledge in that way. You have to have the divine wisdom to show the mind
Correct.
what it needs to know.
No. Yes, that's
Yeah.
right, and that's exactly what happened. So I'm not a user of that much AI, but the to me the exploration of the divine source is an exploration into what we don't know. It is into the
Exactly.
unknown, and
Yes.
allowing that wisdom and that knowledge and that inspiration to flow through trust, like we were
Yeah.
talking about before.
The mind is a huge data information bureau. If we only think from the mind, you go, yeah, but what if this? Oh, yeah, but what if that? But yeah, but then there's that problem. Yeah, but then what about
Mm.
that? And what about this? And we go too much what abouts rather than actually doing. When we trust the divine wisdom, then again it resonates the heart in truth and given to the spirit in action. The mind goes, I know
Ah,
what you need.
yeah, there you go.
I've got the clear message now. You need X, Y, and Z. And now we can get
Correct.
on with it because I actually did a show this week, which is actually cool. I'm just going to quickly look at it. What did I call it? Um, the mind awaits the soul, where
There you go.
I talk about where the mind is a bystander, waiting for direction. And
Correct.
that knowingness is the wisdom of giving it, well, this is what I need to do, or I need to know, or I need to be. And then
Hmm.
the clear direction into the brain is like, ah,
Ah,
there you
yes.
go.
Yeah.
And but
Yeah.
without that wisdom telling our mind what action is needed, what information is needed, I believe if
Mm.
we're only in the mind, we're in a constant circle and we never seem to be able
Yes.
to move forward. We need the wisdom to understand the knowledge.
Yes. Yes. And again, as we were saying before, that divine inspiration is not to make us comfortable, it's to make us conscious.
Yes.
So, that's exactly what it does. So it broadens that's like the balloon opening up and allowing the to be filled up with that divine air. Absolutely. That's the way
And
it
that
works.
consciousness is an understanding that there is so much we don't know,
Oof.
and that there's so much to
Yeah.
know, and that we don't need to know it all because we'll know it when we need to know it.
Hmm.
And it's a beautiful place to be where, oh gosh, there's so much there. There's so
Yeah.
much there. And that when you do get a download, when you do get an inspiration and an illumination, and it just go,
Hmm.
wow, wow. But
Well, it's a
it isn't,
panorama.
I'm demanding the universe to give me. It's going to give me what I need in the now to do what I'm meant to be doing. Right.
Yes.
And then it's like, it will only give you as much as you can cope with as well.
Correct. Absolutely, yes. And probably the other aspects that one needs on this journey because of our grey hair and wisdom personified is persistence
Yes.
associated with that.
Yes.
We need to, yeah, there's some barriers that will come up,
Mm-hmm.
but let's get up when you've been knocked down. Resilience, keep going.
Yes.
That's what you've been given these challenges for.
Mm.
Keep going. Don't give up.
And
That
also
divine spirit. Hmm?
participation.
Truth.
Right? So many people are kind of will tell me what to do and I'll do, but no, you're not participating in the process. You have to
Yes.
participate in the process of resilience, of downloading, of connecting. Without your participation, you're just going through some movements that aren't going to connect. You have to participate and truly immerse yourself to understand what you're
Yes.
needing to do in the now. And so many people are like, well, I speak it. And that's the thing. They trouble if they speak it, they read it, but they aren't
Mhm.
it.
Aren't it? Yes. 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 But coming back to what we were talking about before, the two keys to that, the main tools, I think, trust we
Yes.
talked about before. Trust the divine will be there, and then connect every day,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in every moment you can, connect to
Yes.
that divine, quieten the mind. Take some deep breathing, whatever. Do the ironing.
Have a
Maybe
chat.
not. Have a chat.
Yeah, have a chat with the universe, right? You don't
Yes.
always have
Yeah.
to
There
be
you go.
asking it to help you. You could be
Hmm.
sharing a good feeling. You could be
Hmm.
having a good memory. I just did an interview with this wonderful 81-year-old who's wrote about becoming a badass and all that she's done and all that she's overcome. And it was all to do with that really positive attitude. And she sparked a memory of me in Paris, something that happened 50 years ago that still warms my heart considerably when I remember it. And we don't look for perfection, but we do have perfect moments. And those perfect moments always
Yes.
stay with us. And sometimes just even sharing them, I remember that feeling. I'd love to
Yes.
feel like that again. Because ultimately, what the universe is giving you is feeling the wisdom to
Hmm.
understand the
Hmm.
knowledge, right? It's not thought to feeling, it's feeling to thought.
Yes. Yes. There you go. Isn't that beautiful? So,
Mm.
my goodness, we've given your listeners and viewers
Yes.
so much wisdom this morning. Yeah,
Yes,
it's a
this
beautiful
morning, this
thing.
evening, and I want people to go back and listen to your other shows. I mean, all they have to do is go to selfdiscoverywisdom.com and put in your name,
Thank
and
you.
it's Stephen Stephen Chong Chong, and all of your shows that we've done will come up, and we've really gone into deep. There's always a common denominator, which is soul wisdom, and allowing the soul wisdom, the universe, to guide us in everything that we do. It guided you in writing the afterlife, a journey to know what will happen, and it's guided you in everything else that you've done and are doing. And with each show, we've gone. A little to the left, a little to the right, but always, the same old cha-cha.
Yes,
We're in the
we
rhythm
have.
of it.
Yes,
So it's all soul
yes.
talk, and that's what's so very important. And the universe only wants us to succeed. It's not out to get us or judge us or
No.
damn us or criticize us. It knows who we are and what our potential is. And its job is to
Yes.
help us reach that.
And Sarah, what we've talked about this afternoon is what we're actually, in essence, we're really doing is building a bridge.
Yes.
Building a bridge between, making this life a better place. Fine.
Yes.
Well, I get that, but we're also building a bridge so that the afterlife
Hmm.
becomes and there are so many wonders that we've spoken about
Yes.
before that we will experience in that coming eternity, that coming eternal, that will open up for us by virtue of those things that we embrace now in this life. So the eternal life becomes such a
Yes,
preferred, a beautiful place to experience.
absolutely.
And therein
Everything,
lies the key.
yeah, it is. And everything about us in our book of life are different chapters, different experiences, at different stages of life. And at the end of the chapter, it's not the end of the book, it's the end of the vessel, but it's not
Yes.
the end of the story. Because everything that you've done, everything that you've become, everything that you are is now in the ether. It's now part of that universe of
Mm-hmm.
wisdom, right? But we can have glimpses into maybe not our afterlife, maybe past afterlives, right?
Mm.
But even a glimpse into life after we've gone, because that's what that connection to the universe is. It's that
Yes, absolutely.
accumulative, wonderful knowledge. And when you look at it, as a matrix, everybody looks at linear life. I'm born, I exist, I die. No, we are doing a dance, a rhythm, and a rhyme all the way through it. And it's all about that connection to the universe, to the divine, to an outer world that
Mm-hmm.
we're made up of the universe. Every particle of us is. So when people do die, people call me and so and says that they've gone home. I say the person's gone home, right? The vessel has
Yes.
been left behind, and I'm sorry you're not going to be able to hold or talk to that vessel in that same way anymore. But they've
Mm.
gone home, and you can connect anytime you want just by speaking to them.
Correct. Absolutely correct. I can't remember if we spoke about it last time, but maybe we did. Anyway, uh, 2 years ago, just over, I lost my beautiful mother.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this lady is divine. She's an angel sent. The only thing she didn't have was the wings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and ever since I was a young lad, I always thought, Mum, when you go, I'm not staying.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be where you are. And in her passing, yes, grief is not the right word. I miss her presence, of
Yes,
course.
yes,
You can't go
yes.
up and say, "Hey, Mum, what's for dinner?"
Right.
But But I know exactly where she's gone in the heavenly realms. I that she is more powerful now than she ever
Mm,
was, because I know where to find her. She's ever
yeah.
present. So that alone is worth the
Mm,
price of admission to the heavenly realms. To know
yeah.
that love is the bridge to that person that it has meant so much to us in life. They are there for us on that journey, 24/7, sitting on our shoulder.
Mm.
And it's a beautiful thing.
I'm going to just add to that because the thought came into the head is that some people go, yo, I don't want to meet so and so back over there. And again, it's about vibration. If you're living in a loving vibration, you'll go to the loving vibrational beings in the universe.
Mm.
If you are still in, that hate and whatever mode there, then you're going to go to soul school, because
I,
the universe
yes,
has vibrational levels, right? And if
correct.
you are a person that is cruel and damning to other people, you're not going to go and meet the person that is loving. That is,
Hmm.
as in life, that is the journey that we have to take to rise up to the higher frequency of love, caring, kindness, and compassion. And that is what opens that door to that universal knowledge. If you're in that hate, cruel, damning rhetoric, we're just too far afield. It's your journey to take in this lifetime
Yes,
and in other lifetime, right?
yes. Yeah,
So
that,
you
that
can't
I
escape
must
it.
say, no,
No.
there is no escape. No, no, there's no there's a let me find it there. Um, the law of heaven and earth. Let me
Mhm.
in your life, I'll read it. In your life review, all shall be revealed. No thought or action insignificant, all
Mm.
remembered to record,
Yes.
which perfectly
Yes.
describes
And it's
what
not
you're talking about.
judgment in from the human sense of the word. It is accountability, right?
Correct.
And that is different. Judgment is I'm going to damn you no matter what because I don't agree with you. But accountability is that if you have harmed someone else, that accountability for you to apologize or make amends is upon you. And that is part of your consciousness. I unknowingly hurt someone. And when you unknowingly do it, Well, now you know that what are you going to do about it? But when you
Correct.
live in that higher consciousness, you can't knowingly hurt someone. To do so really hurts you.
Beautiful. That perfectly described. And that was in the afterlife in the book. That was so eloquently described too in action. Exactly what you said there. That souls in when you with intent hurt people or cause harm, then
Yes.
that declares your place in heaven.
Yeah.
So the to ele you know to we need to you think love that elevates your purpose, and that then of itself declares where you go in the heavenly realms when we pass over.
We have to become the love. We have to become the peace. We have to
Correct.
become the joy. We have to become the compassion. When we become it, we are at one with those that
Hmm.
resonate on that frequency. We are at one as a human race. We are at one as a universal race, right? We're
Ah,
just all a beautiful instrument or a beautiful tune in that wonderful song, that wonderful orchestra. If you come along with the fingers on the chalkboard or the violin off key, you know, um,
yeah,
it
yeah,
it
yeah.
is about harmony. That's what the
Yes,
universe is about. It's about harmony. It's about peace. It's about creativity. It's about love and exuberance and compassion. And it's like we can hold people accountable. I do not condone your action, but I have no right to hate you. I can hate the action, not you.
correct, correct.
Right. And we've all done things and said things that we wish we hadn't. And we
Hmm.
need to forgive ourselves because we didn't know better. Now
Hmm.
we know better. We're going to be more conscious about what we do.
Hmm. You are such a master, really. Uh, but the key word you mentioned there is become be.
Yes.
What do you choose?
Yes.
B, choose love, choose compassion, choose empathy with intent, and then you become more of what you choose. If
Yes.
you choose with intent hatred or malice
Yes.
or
Yes.
revenge or whatever it might be, you become what you choose. And
Mhm.
thereby that declares your place in heaven. So,
And the B is for being and beingness, right?
hmm,
In the become is that we have gone to the road of humanoid, lack of
hmm,
compassion, lack of
hmm,
connection, spiritual connection. When we are the being and we become the human, we then become the human being. And the
hmm,
being is the beingness of who we are and what we're here to do,
hmm,
right?
correct.
It's what we are doing is who we are being.
Hmm. And again, that's so eloquently described. It dovetails directly to our life purpose
Mm,
because often we think of our life purpose as a light at the end of the tunnel,
hmm.
something to aspire to, and it is not that. It is a state of being.
Yeah.
Our life purpose is a state of being. Be love,
Yes.
be whatever you choose to be, but it is it is a now experience. So
Hmm.
when we go out and do things, we are being loving and being compassionate
Yeah.
or being in whatever we're choosing to be. That's our life purpose.
Yeah. It's not the emphasis on your doing. It's in the emphasis on who you're being in what you're doing,
Being correct,
right?
correct,
Because
absolutely correct.
ultimately, yes, you can be doing wonderful things, but you're hiding behind a facade. But when you're being wonderful in the sense of sharing that exuberance, then you're
Yes,
actually felt and multiplied considerably.
correct,
So
absolutely correct.
everything is beingness, everything is
Oh,
ownership, everything is accountability of who we are and what we are, but everything is trust and faith, in that divine. Again, it doesn't matter what you want to call it or however you want to connect to, it is that connection with the divine
connection.
wisdom. And you feel when you get there, folks, it just so ah, like you can be alone with yourself quite happily because you know you're never
Hmm,
alone. You don't need to
correct.
be around people that are static to you. just for the sake of being around people. You can be a,
Correct.
you will attract people that come from heart and soul, even if they may not recognize
Hmm.
their soul is being ignited. This show
Yes.
is called Ignite Your Heart and Soul, right? When we ignite our heart and soul, our spirit has a chance to be free and our mind has the clarity it needs, but we have to
Yes.
ignite it. And that means doing what we need to do to get into that space and time where we're all open and ready to receive.
Correct.
And then
Yes.
get out of your
And,
way and allow.
and then get out of the way.
People have to
Absolutely.
be in control. No, control is giving up control. I'm in control of what I do with it, right?
Hmm.
But I'm also guided on what I need to do with it. It's not all on my
Yes.
shoulders. And that kind of control of who I am and who I choose to be, because I am connected, is the kind of control I have. But this, I need to be in control of everything.
No.
God's having a good laugh, right?
Yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
not what it's
absolutely.
about. That's
Yes.
not what it's
No,
about. It is about
no.
choice rather than control, the choice of our actions, the choice of what we're going to do with it. And rather than I need to control it. No, you need to
Yes.
actually let it be. You need to surrender. You need to follow. You need to allow. You need to become. And then that
There you
choice
go.
of what you need to do will be revealed.
Absolutely correct. What you said.
Always love these
Yes.
shows. We go off on such a spiritual tangent, which I love, which is because
Uh,
we actually talk very simply about it because we're both living
yes,
in it. We've both taken the journey to be there. And for other people, well,
correct.
yeah, it sounds simple. It is simple, but it is a journey that you've got to participate in and be willing to take, which means letting go of the things that do not serve you anymore. All that
Oh,
negativity. Hello.
yeah.
I know you would like to join me, but, I have to say you've served your day. Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Mm,
And it is about not letting other judgments dictate your worth. Your worth is from inside out. It's universal worth. It's not human
mm-hmm.
worth. And then trusting in the universe and all its divine wisdom and let it connect to your mind. Let it connect through your body. Let it
Yes,
ignite your heart and soul and spirit. Because when you
yes.
do and you make that connection, you're so good.
There you go. Hey, I've got to tell you, again, recent manifestations. There is a meditation I do daily now in that connection where I stand in a field
Mm,
and beautiful tree, and we're very lucky we're in rainforest and things here, so it's very easy to do. So I stand in the middle of beautiful sunshine. You can feel the breeze and you
mm,
hear the birds singing and things. But then I'm observing myself,
mm,
and I will stand in a golden orb, the light that surrounds.
mm, mm.
Mm. And yeah, it goes upwards and around and into the earth, and that beautiful golden light surrounds one's being, and you feel that
Yeah.
love and the essence,
Yes.
but then I step inside. Sounds a bit weird. I step inside of myself, so I'm
Mm,
observing myself from
hmm
inside myself, if that makes sense.
You're stepping into the essence of your being.
Yes, and the light's in there.
Yes.
You see
We are
the
the
light
light.
right through.
Yes. Yes.
We are the light,
Yes.
and it's a total renewal. That light, that divine light, is external as well as
Mm,
internal,
Enter.
and there's all this space inside of
Yeah.
one, and it's filled with light.
It
So
is. Yeah.
that that
Beautiful.
of itself is a beautiful meditation. Yeah,
Yes. Yes, I used to, told the story before about me being in the dark for so long and finally coming out into the light, being blinded by the light, feeling the shadows chase me until the darkness contoured the light and gave it shape and meaning. And now I happily go into the dark, for I am the light. And now I'll
right.
see what I need to see in that illumination, and I'm no longer afraid of the dark. We're afraid of the dark when we feel alone. We're afraid of the
Mm,
dark when we feel insecure, or we have no purpose, we don't know where we're going, we don't know who we are. Then everything becomes
mm,
intimidating. When we become who we are, we know who we are, and just be that beautiful being. When we step into that darkness, it isn't cold or dark or fearful. It is just like a beautiful blackboard waiting to reveal with the light, because you
Correct.
are that light. And
Right.
you can feel secure anywhere. The only place you do not feel secure is around negative vibration, because it's resonating on a level that is really quite thunderous to us. So we choose our vibe tribe around people
Hmm.
that are on that higher level, because we can create together just in the
Correct.
sheer energy field that we're in.
Hmm. Correct. Yeah. It's and as you right say, it's a light of attraction. So
Yes,
light,
yes.
shines outwards, but it also attracts that which we need to manifest more light. That's the way it works. So
It's quite
daily
simple.
practice is the key.
It is. That's the thing. Participation, right? Being aware. Okay, I'm feeling a weight. What is it? Oh, it's a past memory. I need to have a look at this. Or it's somebody's judgment on me. Why am I letting that get in my way? Right?
Hmm.
Internal chatter, excuse me. Unless you've got something productive to say, don't say anything at all. It's having those conversations with self. It's being
Uh,
willing to go through the process, letting
mm,
go of what is clamping you down, becoming free, allowing, trusting the universe, finding your channel, your frequency. It is a process, but the more you immerse yourself in that process and the more you align with that wisdom, the freer you are, and the more creative you are, and the more exuberant you are. And it just opens life up
yes,
considerably. So it's wonderful.
yes. It's a wonderful
Okay, my
place to
darling, will
be.
you tell people how to get hold of you and how to get hold of your book?
Well, the best place is via website www.stephen with a ph stephenchong.com.au. All will be revealed on the website. The
Right.
access to the afterlife, the book. On there, your viewers will find free download. Just download the laws of heaven and earth, the 15
Mm,
laws that were found within that book. They have made such a profound difference to my
mm.
life, just knowing this stuff. But people can download that for free and use them, integrate them into their life as they wish. But the website's the place to be, or you can go onto Amazon or any of the book depositories for the
Instagram,
afterlife.
Facebook, LinkedIn, it's all Stephen Chong.
Yeah,
So they
so
can find you all
all
there.
there.
Right.
Facebook. I do a bit of Facebook and YouTube, but I'm not a big Instagrammer, right? But
No, it's really kind of an instant thing of just posting, not really an integrative thing. So yeah,
yes,
but
yes.
but stephenchong.com.au,
Hey,
AU for
you.
Australia, folks. And of course, you can find his book, The Afterlife, A Journey To, on any of the Amazons. So just plug it in. And of course, go back and listen to all his shows that he's done here before. As I've said, selfdiscoverywisdom.com, and just put in his name, Stephen Chong. You can put Stephen Chong in Google and his name will come up, and all the shows that we've done together. And please go back and listen to the others, because we just keep finding new ways to talk about this illumination that
We
has
do.
changed our lives radically, and then
Absolutely.
really made us at peace and productive with ourselves, right, and shown us a path forward and meaningful purpose that we embrace every day openly and beautifully. And we weren't always there. We were willing to take the journey to get here, but come on in, the waters are great.
Sarah, it's just a confirmation that you are a master. I knew that before, but I know it. I know
Bless
it
you.
even more now.
I don't look at myself as that, just as somebody that's living in that beautiful glow of the universe. But thank you so much. Thank you. So, folks, please, is to allow, surrender, um, participate, be open, and get rid of what doesn't serve you and open up to what is there ready to support you. And it is a journey. Take the journey. It is absolutely wonderful when you get there. And it is the state of being that you're meant to live in. So
It's
thank you,
ready and
Stephen.
waiting for you.
It's waiting for you. And the more you do that as a human being, the better we're going to make this world that we live in. So very much so.
Beautiful.
So thank you,
Thank you, Sarah.
Stephen. Lovely. Catch you again soon down
Lovely
the
to talk
road.
to you again.
And
Talk to you
until
again
next
soon.
time, folks, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Just go to the podcast tab at the top there and you will see all the many genres and all 3,000 shows ready for your listening. We are here to serve you, to help you on your journey of life, and we know that through inspiration, it begets invitation. We are supported by you, the listeners, and those that we interview. Anything that you can spare us in donation would be greatly accepted, and we do hope that you enjoy the next show.